Hello everyone. I will be explaining the feature that I've added to the game engine. And yeah, let's get right into it. So what I've added to our game engine is an editor. So this is going to be just like a front-end UI, something that you would kind of like see in Unity or Unreal. Obviously not as sophisticated, but yeah, I wanted to create an editor that really made it easier and more intuitive for other individuals to make a game. Just because, like, the JSON got kind of irritating and you'd fear to get a comma here and whatnot. So that is what inspired me to create this editor. This editor is created with eecs-498, and it's created with eecs-498 file dialog. So eecs-498 is just a really light-end front-end framework, I guess you could call it, or just like some files. And it really helped, or it makes GUI for your applications. And it's all written in C++. And then also another extension for that is I found eecs-498 file dialog. It lets you explore your files, not using like a command line interface, but more of like a point-click approach. So some of the things I wanted to show is I wanted to show that we can load in games and edit them, create games and edit them, and then finally just some of the final things I want to add to the editor. So right off the bat, this is our editor here. We have an asset explorer, our file explorer, our template editor, scene editor, render configuration, game configuration, and our game loop here. So, and then our editor automatically creates a resources folder for us. That's quite nice. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to load in a project real quick. So if we remember homework 8 here, so I'm just going to pull in this file. Pull in the resources. Let's do a copy. I'm going to paste this right in. Sweet. So let's run this. Sweet. So we see that this gets populated with our Asset Explorer. We have our names populated here, a rendering configuration, and then also our scene. So our basic scene, the name, all the actors that are currently in the scene file with their components, and then our templates. And then, so one thing I found interesting was doing the what I call overrides in the template or in the components. And this is how I initially thought that would be really intuitive, where you would just write the key and value for it and then it would override it. It definitely made me question, like, what is good design and what is intuitive design? And that is a lot of things I explored while creating this final product. So, all right, so we see that everything got loaded in. Let's go ahead and start the game. There we go, our game is running. And one thing, let's say we don't like the name of test case 91. Let's just call it, I don't know, maze ball. All right, so we're gonna save that here. And we can say maze ball is in action. Great. So one quick thing I want to do is I want to show that we can create a project using this editor, just this editor. So let's go ahead and create this game. So I'm going to do make run here, and then we have an empty game template. And I put in some safeguards to protect the user from crashing the app. See, must specify game title. So let's say tree chopper. And then it says, please specify initial scene because it will crash if it's not. So level 1. We'll go ahead and save that here. We see game config is populated. And if we go back to Visual Studio, we go to our resources folder. We see game config, it's written. So yeah, the nice thing about using rapid JSON, you can read in JSON, you can also write JSON, you can also write JSON pretty. If you don't write JSON pretty, it'll populate everything on this one line into infinity, which is really ugly to look at. Okay, sweet. So let's say we want to create our game, and let's do 960. And then we're going to do also 540. I'm going to save that here, populate it here, and then let's do our level 1 scene. So I have the the old assets in the background to help me really expedite this. So we're gonna say level 1, we add the scene. And then in the scene, we're gonna create an actor. Let's call this Game Manager. And then Game Manager is gonna have one component called Game Manager. And then we see the component right here. We're gonna add another actor named Background. And this actor is gonna have background renderer. And then to override it, we're gonna call sprite and background. Sweet. And then let's create two more actors. We're gonna create me. And what am I gonna have? I'm gonna have a sprite renderer. I'm gonna have an override also of sprite and main player. Sweet. And then I'm gonna have transform. I'm also gonna have keyboard controls. Awesome. And now the last actor we're gonna add is a camera. We're gonna go in and specify what this component is. And then we're gonna add an override for this. It's gonna be target, target, and me. Sweet. All right, so we got all that going. So we're gonna save this scene, and if I just want to double check, scene, and it's written just like how we would in our game engine for writing it by hand. All right, and then I'm gonna show you how to load in some images. So let's go on and go to where I have this guy. We're gonna go to my games, resources, images. Let's do one. So we have background image, boom, populates right there. And then I'm also gonna do, let's say we want the Lua files, resources, we're gonna component types. So the interesting thing with the file dialog for I'm GUI is you have to specify what files it wants to look at. So we're gonna say some Lua files, background, boom, already in. Say we want to load in a text, so we're gonna go here, resources, fonts, we're gonna do TTF here, boom, loads it in. Fonts is loaded in, component types, images. Oh gosh, what else do we need? I'm gonna do tests, go down to my games, resources, and actor templates. So nice thing about this is we can actually load in actor templates as well. So let's go. Oh wait, no, it can only do scenes for right now. That's something else I want to put on my list to do. So we're gonna see that actor templates. So I'm gonna just implement one template, and then we're gonna see the rest. And then I'm just gonna cheat and just kind of import the others. So all right, so this template we're gonna call a tent. This tent is gonna have two components. The first one is gonna be called transform. And the other component is gonna be the sprite renderer. And the sprite renderer is gonna have, let's see, it's gonna have sprite and tent. And then it's gonna have a sorting order. I'm just gonna do 0 for sorting order right now. Sweet. And we're gonna go ahead and save this. Actor templates is in. So I'm going to cheat a little bit because it'll take me forever to load in all the images I have. So let me go ahead and do this. Throw this right in. Oh. Yes. I want it in images. There we go. I'm also going to load in all the components I have too, because I have quite a few. Did those go in? Okay, sweet. And then we have one more template. We have the tree template. Okay, sweet. All right, make sure all these are loaded in. You see we have more images, more templates, and everything. All right, awesome. And then we're gonna start the game. And here we go. Here is the game. Awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video to show that someone can indeed use our editor and then create their own game with it. This is Tree Chopper, and it's a little game I made to study for this exam to get really comfortable with Lua. And you can sleep in this tent right here. Boom, we have night. All right, awesome. Oh, and just to show something, if we want to change the name real quick to ASDF, why not? Save, start game, boom. We are looking good. Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for watching this video. Sorry I made it a little bit long, but I wanted to kind of show all the quirks and everything with this game. Some of the final things I want to do for the final project is right here. You see this empty window I have here? I want to create a renderer just of the first frame. So when someone's designing this game and you're making transforms or whatnot, it's gonna have it'll just like render the first frame as soon as the scene is saved, and then you can go back in, say you're like, oh shoot, I need to change I don't know, like for me, for my transform, I need to add some override values of like X and Y. I don't know, like X, and then maybe like 10, and override in, and then you start the game, and you're like, oh, okay, let's see. Oh shoot, I don't think I saved it, that's why I didn't do it. That's another thing, is like, I want to, there's another thing I want to create for like fail safes, because there's a lot of things going on with this, and you know, if you know, like the user, if they're like, oh, like why didn't that happen? So override this, save, and see, I'm shifted way over. I don't even know where the image is anymore. But yeah, so rendering this box right here for the first scene, so like me putting in 20 for my X transform, I think it was, you know, then I would know like, oh, that was way too much, and then I do it, and then it renders the new scene. A lot more fail safes, and maybe some more how-tos, and some more editing components. But yeah, thank you for letting me create this really long video. I hope it was really exploratory in the feature that I added. And yeah, I hope you all enjoy this video, and I look forward to implementing the final features. Thank you, everyone, and have a good one.